Hi everyone, and welcome to part 2 of making the Ava Gardner plaid dress from Showboat. In this video I will be covering the making of the actual costume, whereas in the previous video I covered the making of the petticoat. This dress is a typical Walter Plunkett designs with the very clean, uncluttered lines and the amazing way he thinks to use stripes or plaids, and in this case plaid. This dress was also used on an extra in the film Cimarron, which Walter Plunkett also designed in 1960. And it was listed in the Great MGM auction of 1970, and this is the last time, as far as I'm aware, that the dress was seen. So hopefully the original is out there somewhere, and maybe one day it will surface and we'll all get to see it again. So I hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you at the end with the finished dress. I start by cutting out the body's backing in a white cotton fabric. I then machine the two front bodice pieces together in the bust seam. Here's the plaid fabric that I've had printed. This has been done by a company called Contrado here in the UK, and I'll link them in the description below the screen. They've done a really excellent job sending lots of samples while I've been trying to work out the scale of this and what sort of fabrics I want to use too. The original fabric was of course a woven fabric, so they were able to use both sides of the fabrics, which is something that wasn't an option for me, and that's why I've got two different pieces printed, one which is a left hand print and one which is a right hand print, so that I can do the mirroring of the plaid in certain places, like down the front of the bodice. Next I cut out the portion of the bodice out of the plaid. I then sew the centre front seam together. I then cut out the rest of the bodice out of the green cotton. I sew the darts into the green portions of the bodice front. I make up the piping and sew it around the bodice edge. I then sew the rest of the bodice pieces together. And here you can see me inserting the boning channels. Next I move on to cutting out and constructing the sleeves. Here you can see me sewing the sleeve flounces. Next I move on to cutting out the skirt panels. I seam the skirt panels together. Here you can see me top stitching the pleats into the skirt centre back panel. Then it's on to cutting out the waterfall drapes for the back of the skirt. These are made of a layer of the plaid and a layer of the green cotton. Next, I cut and sew the hanging panel for the left-hand side of the skirt. And finally, it's on to cutting and sewing the double apron drapes for the right hand side of the skirt. And here's the finished dress. She has turned out amazingly well. I can't actually express how happy I am with how she's turned out. One of the hardest parts of making this dress was the plaid fabric, because we had to have a left print and a right print, so it was constantly checking and rechecking that I was using the right side or the left side for the part that I was doing, as I didn't want to get that mixed up. It looks so like the original, I just can't believe it. If you would like to see these costumes, they are on display now at the Ava Gardner Museum in Smithfield, North Carolina, and will be on display until the end of September next year. Please join me next month for another video of making a dress for the museum, and this dress is actually something that was made and filmed, but then all the scenes got cut from the film, so it's a really interesting project to do and for you to see. I would like to thank you all again for supporting my channel, and thank you to my patrons for their continued support, and I'll see you all again next month with the unused Ava Gardner dress.